What's up, everyone? I snagged some free Wi-Fi, so here we are. How's it going? I just figured I would grab this chance to kind of get to know some, answer some questions. There's been a lot of news today. The border blockade in Alberta is still there and still growing. The Ambassador Bridge blockade has, well, it's got the prime minister and the president of the USA now talking. Trudeau is promising Biden that he's going to end this, and the Ontario premier has declared a state of emergency, and he's imposing all sorts of threats against the truckers, including massive fines, six-figure fines. He wants driver's licenses and commercial driver's license and personal driver's license, like all sorts of big government overreach and threats. But you know what's ironic about all that is that the government is threatening all these freedom fighters, declaring states of emergency, threatening them with fines, and threatening to take their licenses away. Isn't that what the entire point of this entire movement is about? It's about fighting against government, fighting against this kind of overreach. Like, that's why they're there. And the government's response is, well, let's just do it some more. I don't think the government understands that this is just going to make people dig their heels in even more. This just means we have to fight even more. And yeah, there are reinforcements apparently coming of trucks to join the convoy. In Ottawa, a whole bunch more are on the way, and the borders, they're coming to the borders right here in BC. There is a planned truck convoy heading to one of the main commercial truck crossings, which is not too far away from where I am. So it's finally fine. Even though a lot of the trucks started in BC, it's nice to see some action in BC while this is all going back in Ottawa right now. We need something going on here too. Okay, now I'm gonna just take a look at all your comments because I don't do these lives that often. Just so you all know, I mean, all you long termers know, this channel has always been, I named the channel after myself so that I wouldn't just be a channel about one subject. Although for the last few years, it's been mostly just about van life, RV life, off-grid stuff and all that. But uh, I have always gone on like political rants, things like that. And I know people like that stuff too. But this whole convoy thing was really important to me for lots of reasons. Obviously, because I value freedom above all else. I've always stood for freedom. And I think that's probably why I've been a van lifer for many years, living in my vans and living off the grid and kind of sticking it to the man. And I value that kind of freedom. And I know that the way things are going with governments and control, that something as simple as wanting to live that kind of lifestyle will be basically outlawed. And the other reason is I've been a truck driver for the last few years. And a short haul truck driver. So that means local within the Metro Vancouver area for the most part. So the big trucks bring things into distribution centers, and then I show up in my 5 ton. I pick up the stuff and I distribute it to businesses all over the Lower Mainland. I've been doing that for years. Now, this mandate, none of these mandates affected me because I didn't have to drive over any international borders. But that's not the point. These this convoy, the media has twisted it and tried to make it look like this convoy's been taken over by extremists, and it's all changed now. It used to be just about some border mandate or whatever. Let me tell you something. I've been following it since the very beginning, and anyone else that's been following from the beginning knows this as well. From the very first day, since before they even turned those truck engines on and began the trip over to Ottawa, before that, it was always about all the mandates and all the restrictions across Canada for all Canadians. It doesn't matter whether you're a trucker or not. It's not just about the border crossing mandate. That is just the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what got all this going, and it was just that enough is enough. People said, I've had it. Um, what? Yeah, I'm reading. I'm trying to read your comments as I talk. I'm just doing this on my phone. I got no fancy equipment or anything like that. I can't show you any stuff on my phone while I'm doing this, but I can talk to you. And you guys are awesome. I love your comments. I really do. And yes, I know the globalist bankers are a big part of this. Thank. I am reading your. I can't read them all, or we'll be here all day, but I can't read them out, but I am reading them as they go by, and you guys are amazing. So what do you want me to do with this channel? I know there's been a lot of throttling lately, and YouTube's not putting out the reach that I was getting a couple weeks ago, and it's pretty obvious. But I still want to speak my heart. And a lot of people have asked me, because I've been a truck driver for many years, why I'm not in Ottawa. Well, let me tell you this, okay? I basically dropped everything else to just do this now. I eat, live, and sleep just doing YouTube, just dealing with hundreds of emails and messages every day, trying to figure out what's legitimate, what's not, what I should tell you guys about, and then spending time editing and then uploading. And I have to sometimes cut out half of the videos in order to upload them on YouTube, because there's so much censorship going on. I have to, if you go to my Rumble, you can see unedited videos. Well, they're edited, but they're not, I don't have to take things out. On Rumble, I can say whatever I want. But if I went to Ottawa, I wouldn't have anywhere near the reach and the effect that I've had here doing this. You wouldn't see anything probably for a week at a time if I went to Ottawa. Sure, I'd be able to go and film a whole bunch of footage on the ground and all that, but most of the time is sitting and editing and doing this sort of thing. It's not out there actually filming. And I've got two trucker friends in Ottawa right now, and I have one friend that lives near Parliament who's sending me information all the time. And then I've got all of you sending me stuff all the time. I'm kind of just trying to put it all together for people to get in an easily digestible, quick form, 3, 4, 5-minute videos, so you get quick updates on what's happening. And hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. I would not have been able to do this if I went to Ottawa. I'm having way more of a positive effect by sitting my ass down here and doing this. And so I want to keep doing it. But what do you guys think? Do you want me to keep doing what I'm doing just like I am now? I mean, obviously YouTube channel growth is great and all that, but I really don't care. I'm more interested in trying to, I want to help out our men and women who are out there fighting on the front lines right now. And this, I think, is just, this is like a gift to me, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to reach so many people and spread that message out there. I'll keep doing me. Yeah, I'll stay where I'm at. Now, I've had some people actually offer to send me to Ottawa. It's like, you guys don't understand. I'm not going to be able to, I won't be able to do this sort of thing if I went to Ottawa. First of all, I'd have to drive there, and it would take many days. You wouldn't get anything from me. This is better because I'm able to get the information from all over the place, and there's so much more going on than just Ottawa. There's the Ambassador Bridge, there's Coutts, Alberta, there's the Alaskan truckers coming down to Canada. There's stuff popping up all over the place, and now there's talk about the U.S. truckers convoy disrupting. Sorry, I'm a little bit. I haven't had enough coffee today. Disrupting the Super Bowl down in the States. It's now headline news in the U.S. So, I mean, this is spreading everywhere. Obviously, I've talked about how it spreads all around. It's spreading all around the world, but I'm so glad to see the United States is jumping on board in a bigger way, because, I mean, what we're doing in Canada right now, you could be doing 10 times bigger in the U.S. Your population is 10 times bigger. Just think about it, right? But yes, I do thank you for those that have asked to or have offered to donate or fly me to Ottawa or pay for my gas. That's great and all, but you don't have to do that. I would rather you support the truckers. I do have, go to my YouTube channel homepage, just click my username, go to my homepage. You'll see there's a little buy me a coffee button there. If you really, really feel inclined, you can buy me a coffee or whatever you want. But I would rather, if you've got limited funds, to send the money to the truckers any way you can. Get on their Facebook page, their groups, and there's ways you can help contribute to them because they need it. I don't. Simple as that. Yeah, I love it. All you US supporters down there. I'm getting so many messages from all over. Every US state has sent me messages to my inbox. I got an awesome picture today of somebody in Texas with their Canadian flag on their truck. It's so heartwarming. But I've always thought of the US and Canada as being one. We're just geographically separated by an invisible line right down the middle of the continent. But
If you follow my channel for years, I have my RV meetups with other people who live in their RVs, and it's very international. And I would do meetups in Vancouver every year, and we would have about half the people there from south of the border. They'd come up and mingle with it. It was great. Wisconsin, what's up, Frankie?
You're gonna like my shirt. No vaccine needed. You know why no vaccines needed? Because I have an immune system. How about you?
Oh, no, no, wait. Immune systems are just conspiracy theories in 2022. That's right. Can't talk about those. Immune systems are not approved by the WHO. So, yeah, I'm Canadian. Sorry, nice username. Yeah, well, that's very true. I like it when the Prime Minister and all these people say, well, 90% have taken the shots. Well, out of that 90%, how many are not happy about it? Everywhere you go, people are saying, I didn't take it because I wanted it. I took it because I wanted to keep my job. They were coerced. And that's what this fight is all about. Nobody should be coerced. Nobody should have their livelihoods threatened to take an unnecessary jab. The amount, I mean, there was a report put out last year. I should find that there were newspaper articles on it. Research here in Canada put out a paper showing that the lockdowns are about 10 times more harmful and deadly than the actual virus is. And I think that anybody with common sense and over two brain cells knows this, that the overreach is far more dangerous to society than the virus ever was. But I'm pure blood as well. I haven't taken a jab. I haven't had a flu shot in, like, I don't know if I've ever had a flu shot in my life, to be honest. At least maybe when I was younger, my parents got me a flu shot, or my grandma took me in for a flu. I don't remember. I've never taken a flu shot, and I'm not going. I get the flu once every 3, 4, 5 years, and I can feel it coming on, and I know how to kick its butt. I have chicken noodle soup. I take my vitamin C's. I get lots of sleep, and for the overwhelming vast majority, Omicron sniffles are less severe than the flu. So no, I'm not going to take an unnecessary jab, and I'm not going to be told to take an unnecessary jab. And if somebody's going to threaten my fundamental rights and freedoms to go sit and eat at a restaurant, or go to a movie, or travel freely within my country, or unless I take an injection, no, that's not tolerable. That, to me, gives me full justification to practice civil disobedience and to rise up. And that's what people are doing. This idea that we should give up our individual liberties for the greater good. I mean, I already did a whole video on that. You know my opinion on that. Yes, freedom. Yes. So, oh, hey, I have super chat. Thank you for whoever donated that $9.13. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned. Thank you. Thank you. I will.
It will go directly to my coffee fund, because sometimes this stuff runs through my veins.
When I wake up at 2 in the morning because my phone won't shut up because somebody's sending me something they think I should get out. Now, yeah, people outside walking around wearing masks. There's not very. I'm lucky on this little island I live on. Most people are very like-minded. The Gulf Islands here in BC have always been a very anti-establishment, counterculture. I mean, they're world famous for being where all the draft dodgers actually came a long time ago. But there's very much a hippie vibe, and people don't put up with BS here. And there are some, of course, living in that unfounded fear, but for the most part, you won't see people walking around with muzzles on their face. And I mean, I go grocery shopping every other day at one of the local supermarkets here, and I've never had to put anything on my face. People don't say anything. The cashiers and the management were just told to leave people alone. So, but the fact we're told to wear a unscientific bacteria-laden muzzle on our face is the problem. We should to make people feel safe. Pure blood, yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole DNA thing, and you'll notice on my channel I'm not going to discuss the medical stuff. I'm not going to be putting up. People keep sending me, just so you know, you send me videos of doctors at conferences, speeches. There's a reason why you don't see that on YouTube, because when those videos go up, they get taken down. Channels will get deleted, blah, 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 because one of the first videos I ever put up, when this all started. Anyway, one of the first videos about this subject was at one of the rallies in Vancouver. Oh, thank you, B Bag Nail 79. Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, if this stuff keeps coming in, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm going to donate to the truckers. I already gave them $500, but I think that anything we can do to help them is great. But anyways, what I was saying is, sorry, I got sidetracked there, is the first video I put up on this subject was one of the big rallies in downtown Vancouver last year, and it got flagged from YouTube, and I got a strike on my channel not because of people rallying, but because in my footage there was a shot with somebody holding up a sign, and the sign had something along the lines of medical information that goes against the WHO. So because that's not approved on YouTube, right? So even when I put up videos now and it's footage of rallies or the truck convoy or whatever, I have to be extremely careful to go through the footage frame by frame and make sure if there's any signs stating anything about vaccines or anything about the medical stuff, I have to delete that. I can't put that up or the video will be deleted. There's so much editing involved, it's not even funny. It's actually scary. Yeah, see, if people keep sending me these, oh, look at this doctor, Justin, you should get this out. I can't. I could do it more of that on Rumble. I am, by the way, doing a lot on Rumble, so a lot of the videos you see on YouTube are heavily edited, but on Rumble, I can put the whole videos up there. I've been trying my best, but just so you know, I live off the grid, and I'm doing this out of my own time, out of my own pocket. I put everything else on hold, my cabin building project, my van conversion project, and my cell phone data plan is my only internet right now, and it's 60 gigabytes, 60. I blew through that in a week. So I'm having to keep paying extra for extra data or driving around looking for Wi-Fi just to get anything out to you guys. I do have an internet solution on the way. I probably won't have it set up for another week or two, but for now, I got to use just my cell phone and my data, and it's costing me a lot of money. But I can't just, well, I'm not going to give anyone any more news until the 27th of the month when my bill cycle resets and I get my data back. Like, come on. So yeah, every day or two I keep spending money on buying a little bit more data so I don't have to drive into town here and try to find Wi-Fi. Yeah, Darcy, I agree with you. The censorship of that information is something I never thought we'd see in Western countries, and this is not something that's, you know, unique to Canada or the United States, which are Canada and the United States we've always been the land of the free. But this and places like Australia and the UK, like all the Western nations, the entire world is being affected by this. It's not a national thing, and so that's why when I love seeing Canadian flags all around the world. I just saw a parade today, and not a parade, a rally in Brooklyn, New York. A bunch of people protesting mandates there, and they're walking through the crowds with giant Canadian flags. I thought, geez, in New York, that's amazing. But this is worldwide. I would be happy to take nationalism right out of it. It has nothing to do with Canada. This is about human rights for everyone on this planet. Lanny, don't you think that if all that gets done is mandate removals, we're going to be worse off with a childish PM who will just wreak havoc on us? Justin needs to be pushed out. You know, I agree. There's a lot of politicians need to be out, but here's the thing. I don't really think it matters what puppet we elect or what puppet is planted into the highest office in the land, in any country, because like I said, they're puppets. This is happening with both liberal and conservative leaders. This is a lot bigger than just the leader of a country. And I don't think any one prime minister or president can really stop it. They can maybe stall things, but I mean, yeah, I thought Trump had a lot of good things going. You want to hear that from me, that I support Trump? Well, let me put it this way. I certainly don't support Biden. Yeah, our governments are. There's a lot of panic right now, and that's why the governments are threatening, like what they're threatening. Like today, Premier Doug Ford threatening our truckers and citizens who are blocking the Ambassador Bridge between Windsor and Detroit. He's threatening $100,000 fines, and he's threatening to pull their personal and commercial driver's licenses. If that's not tyrannical, please explain to me what the definition of tyranny is. That is such egregious overreach. That just solidifies what the protesters are fighting about. We need reinforcement. We need even more people getting down there, and I've heard there's a whole bunch on the way right now. So strength in numbers, people. I mean, we're in this far now. We can't just, well, okay, now they're threatening us, we better turn around and leave. Come on. Does the government really think that's going to happen? Oh, Michigan governor, apparently it was Tucker Carlson was even talking about this. Apparently the Michigan governor is offering to help Ontario with heavy trucks and equipment to remove the trucks off the Ambassador Bridge. Isn't that international interference? Right? Yeah, I agree. Mama knows it does have to stay peaceful and unified. Actually, some of the best victories in human history are from peaceful protesting. And there's no violence, but if you just block the borders and block the cities, politicians have to take some sort of action. They can try force, but there aren't enough. There's no way they have enough people to deal with this many patriots and trucks and farmers. I showed you the footage in Alberta there. It's got farm equipment, tractors, and cowgirls and cowboys rolling in on horses too. I mean, this is every walk of life, every demographic, every color of skin, you name it. This is everybody. No matter what the media tries to paint it as being, this is about everybody standing up for basic freedoms and their right to choose. Jane Bray, not only is there not enough tow truck companies keep refusing to help the authorities. They've refused to help at the Alberta border crossing, and now they're all refusing in Ottawa as well. Good for them, rightfully so. Could you imagine a tow truck hooking up a truck downtown Ottawa? Like, that video would go viral, and that whatever company is stupid enough to do that, they'd be out of business so fast. That Michigan governor wouldn't let people buy garden seeds during lockdown because it's not essential. Oh yeah, of course not. Growing your own food, that's not essential. Just depend on big government. They'll take care. Don't worry. By 2030, you will own nothing and you will be happy. You will be living in a little concrete cube provided by the government in the middle of a city. You will not be allowed to leave the city. Your electric autonomous car will be programmed not to let you leave the city, and you'll get a check every month. And as long as your digital ID, your QR codes are up to date, you'll be allowed to enjoy your privileges of movement around your little city. There you go. That sounds like a wonderful life. But you're doing it for the greater good. You have to save grandma, and you have to save the world from climate change. It's coming next, everyone. They also brought some earth movers in, which I bet really. Blues in the blood. This has been a 30-year fight already. Agreed. Actually, the climate thing, which this is morphing into, and as soon as it started last March 2020, I knew this was going to be a precursor to climate, which they've been trying to push for decades. If you're on Facebook, I know a lot of people don't like Facebook, but let's be honest, YouTube is just a big mainstream left social network as well, owned by Google. So if you're on YouTube, it should be just as guilty as being on Facebook. But if you're on Facebook, look up the page, I Love Carbon Dioxide. That's my page. I started that page many years ago. Facebook has now stunted the growth. It was going from growing a few hundred a day to just the counter stopped, even though there's a lot of new people joining. They don't like to show it. But anyways, it's up to 19 or 20,000 people on it now. I've been running that for many years, and now I actually run it in partnership with a fellow in San Francisco who came up to Vancouver, and he bought the domain off me at a website too, and now we co-run the page together. But if you're interested in following along on the climate scam as well, follow my page there. So yeah, I've been very active in this sort of, this is what I call real activism, real grassroots stuff. The people that are out on the streets demanding that government take action against climate change or take action against the truckers. What they don't understand is they're actually pawns. They're doing exactly what the government wants them to do. They're giving government social license to take our freedoms away, to implement more restrictions. They're actually the opposite of activists. They're being used by our governments to demand exactly what our governments want to do. The governments want to give us more taxes, more restrictions, and use climate against us. Just like they're trying to use with this right now, they're trying to say that the truckers are the problem, you know, and that we're the ones who are blocking democracy and everything right now. So, yeah, the government's the one that's been blocking democracy for the last 2 years. The truckers are causing a state of emergency? No, the truckers are protesting against the government's unfounded state of emergencies for the last 2 years. It's reverse psychology, but governments are great at reverse psychology. Please post the total money Justin received from Big Pharma. Oh God, I don't even know. I know there's a lot of information on that, but their Pfizer has big contracts in countries all around the world. Some of them exclusive too. Boy, yeah, it's all for your safety. Fringe minority, yeah. But oh yeah, speaking of that, so I used to sell stickers on my channel all the time. Some people asked me if I was going to do any for this, so I know I'm going to regret this, but I do have a whole batch of new stickers on the way. They're actually arriving next week. I can't show you because they're on my phone right now and I'm doing this live stream, but maybe I'll show it in a video soon. But I have some fringe minority stickers coming soon, which I will put a link up to in a video soon. Keep an eye out for that. Let's see what else I missed here. Oh, that's right. The latest spin from the mainstream media and the government to go after the truckers and try to smear them is the fact that something like 1/3 or something like that out of all the trucks that are camped out in Ottawa right now are families. We're talking the truckers, wives, and children. I'm sure you've seen all the videos. There's tons of kids down there. They're having a ball. They have bouncy castles set up. They have playgrounds set up. The kids are playing. But of course, the media is like, look at this. It's child abuse. These poor kids. And they're talking about the government, you know, wanting to use that against the truckers. You know, could you imagine child services or government officials pulling kids out of a truck and then charging them? Like, it's just mind blowing. You can see all the footage for yourself. The kids are having a ball there. It's just like a big camping trip for them. And by the way, it's not as cold there anymore. It's warmed up there. Here in BC, I was out in a t-shirt out in the last 2 days. It was fine. But in Ottawa, as you know, it's been really cold the last little while. But apparently the snow even changed to rain. It actually went above freezing. So it's much more tolerable at this point. Yeah, no, child services can like they're really reaching, grasping for straws here. I saw a tweet from a reporter for I think it was CTV or Global, I don't know, one of the mainstream propaganda networks. They went down there, I guess, looking for drama to present on the 6 o'clock news, because, you know, they're just going to try to find anything negative they can. And they couldn't find anything except for some garbage bags, some black garbage bags full of garbage, by the way. Somebody cleaned up and filled them with garbage on the street next to a lamppost. And the tweet was something like, I see this, or this is what you can see all over the streets. And it's like, this reporter went out looking for something, found some garbage bags, took a picture of it and tweeted it, and is using that against the entire movement. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, in reality, what you don't see on the news is the truckers are out there every night cleaning the streets on their own time. They have food stations set up to feed the homeless. You didn't see that on the 6 o'clock news. No. Yeah, it's just gross. Whenever I watch mainstream media, it just makes me want to punch my screen. Journalists, They don't exist anymore. If you see something on mainstream cable network news, at least in Canada, you're not getting information, you're getting a spin, and that's all there is to it. Uh, Actually, there was a global news reporter who spoke out about that at one of the rallies in Vancouver just recently. I actually have that video. I'll have to show you guys soon. She was fired, of course, but she spoke out about what's really going on behind the scenes, and she had enough of the fact they weren't telling the truth either. But back in the day, journalists, parties for purposes, thank you. Thank you. I will buy more coffee with that. Journalists used to go to government press conferences or whatever it was, and they used to question whatever a bureaucrat or a politician said to them. They used to question, they used to dig, they used to ask other people's opinions, analysts, whatever, right? To try to get to the truth, but they would never just automatically assume whatever the government said must be true, must be fact. Nowadays, at every single press conference, you have all the mainstream media cameras there. They just record whatever the government says, whatever the bureaucrats and health officials say. They just take that and regurgitate it back to the public as if it was fact. No questions asked. What happened? I mean, it's no wonder no one trusts the news anymore. Yeah, check out CNN ratings in the USA. Yeah, I did. CNN and MSNBC are way down at the bottom, and Joe Rogan has 11 times more viewers than those networks do. That's pretty hilarious and quite telling. The real media is online now. What we like to call legacy media or mainstream media isn't even mainstream anymore. It just means it's a big corporate-owned media giant that is on cable network TV, but they don't have anywhere near the reach that online has anymore. So they're not even mainstream anymore. It's funny, we still, the mainstream is all of us. Let's be honest. Yvonne, Vancouver Island's awesome too. I'm not on Vancouver Island, but I'm a stone's throw away. Borderline genius. Well, that's, you guys are going to make me, I'm a grown man, you're going to make me cry with things like that. Thank you, Borderline Genius. Thank you very much. You know what I'm probably going to do for those stickers, because people have been asking for a while now. As soon as they arrive, I know I'm going to regret it, because I'm going to end up spending an entire day with me and a neighbor probably, sitting down and addressing envelopes and licking stamps. I'm probably just going to do it off my donation button on my homepage on YouTube, and I'll just take like any donation over a certain amount. I make sure I don't lose money on the damn things, but as long as I break even, I'm quite willing to do nothing but sit down and fill envelopes all day and write addresses on them. Yeah, it would be, I can take a day off and do that. I've already took the last 2 weeks I've taken off just to do this for you guys. So, hey, Dusty Blue, what's up? This is not a game of vengeance. Go nameless, it's painless. I love it. I love it. The legacy media is funded by the government corporate interest. That's why they are one side. But sadly, a lot of older people I know don't use YouTube or YouTube or any of the other. It's not just YouTube. YouTube is just one platform. We've got to never, ever, ever put your eggs into one basket. Just like you should not only listen to what CNN tells you. You should not just be on YouTube. Remember, a lot of stuff can't be shown on YouTube. So you have to go to sites like BitChute or Rumble and Odyssey. There's all these other websites now where you get a lot more information you won't even see on YouTube. So it's important to have multiple streams of information coming in so that you can make up your own mind. But if you just turn on network news on the television, you're getting one orchestrated, controlled narrative. I think that most people knew that was the case for the good part of the last couple of decades, but the last year and a half, 2 years has really awoken people to realize how frighteningly true it really is, that all the information we get is very much controlled. The who controls the media controls the population, basically, and we know governments do. Trudeau is on. He's donated over he's funded over $600 million to the mainstream media, and then he supports a whole bunch of the other media as well. So they're really hesitant to go against government narratives. He was caught last year in a separate controversy, nothing to do with COVID. But he was caught with one of his MPs was speaking out against him. And I forget what the details were. I'll have to look this up. But anyways, he was caught on camera on a hidden audio explaining to somebody who was explaining to somebody that he had control of the media and he could just buy the headlines that they wanted, basically. So, but we already know that's true. Whether he admits it or not, everybody knows deep down that that sort of thing is happening. So, government doesn't care about kids, you or me. I know anybody that. Why does anyone in 2022 think the government has their best interests in mind? This is not my theory. I'm telling you, this is exactly what's going on. The people that refuse to open up their eyes and see what's really happening right now, like all of us are fully awake. I love how the woke crowd calls themselves woke, but they're the most asleep out of everyone. The people that actually believe, I call them the real conspiracy theorists, the people that actually believe all of this is justified, what the government's doing. All the restrictions are justified. The people that believe that it's all really about health and safety and all that, they are, the reason that they're like that is that they're in a comfort zone. They're in their bubble, and they are more terrified of the possibility that what we're talking about could be true. They're conscious. They can't possibly allow. They how do I put this? They're frightened by the thought that they could be lied to and that they could be taken advantage of, and that they have been taken, that they've been had for the last 2 years. That thought terrifies people so much. When they see anything that people like you and I talk about, they just label us conspiracy theorists and go right back to watching CNN and wait for big government to tell them whether they're allowed to go outside today. I mean, can you imagine living like that? But so they would rather believe that all of these restrictions were justified. They would rather believe the virus is really this bubonic plague. They would rather believe that rather than to possibly admit that maybe, just maybe, politicians, big government, global authoritarian regimes such as the United Nations, big pharmaceutical companies, there's a possibility those people and organizations might not have our best interests in mind. No. That can't happen. That would never happen. They would never lie to us. Like, they're actually that naive. And I swear, these people have never read a history book, because not once in history has big government, or big corporations for that matter, had our best interest in mind. So I think that there's something in people like that. They just put up their shields and say, nope, I can't accept that. So therefore, whatever the government tells me must be true. Because the only thing that scares them more than the virus is the fact that they've been lied to. Oh yeah, the deception is definitely far bigger than COVID. Can you imagine if we had a real pandemic? You know, something actually justifying a single barbershop being bankrupted? Mass psychosis. That's it, Brian, basically. It's mass psychosis. I'm trying to put it in a way, though, that people who might actually think like that, if they happen to be tuned in and actually watching me, so they got kind of makes them look inside themselves and go, oh, yeah, that's kind of me. You know, I blindly eat up whatever the media and whatever a politician says to me at a podium, because I don't want to accept that maybe they would lie to me. And here's the thing, I don't think that there's this grand conspiracy that all these bureaucrats and politicians are all in on some big secret. They all sat around at some board table and came up with this big plan. Of course not. But you know that the bigger strings that are being pulled, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, and all the, who knows, maybe China. But those that organized this or orchestrated this knew exactly how our politicians and bureaucrats were going to react. They knew what the politicians were going to do. And it all just kind of fell into place. I believe that from well above, something way bigger than our politicians, that it was designed on purpose to have the effect that it did. And our politicians, even if some of them are very well-meaning, and even our health officials, well-meaning, and they're actually doing what they believe they're supposed to be doing or they have to be doing, but they're actually falling in line unwillingly and unwittingly. Yeah, and I also don't think that it was. I mean, there are some people who think it was all created and, bioweapon and all that. I'm not too much into those theories. I believe that anything's possible. Let me just put that out there. I believe anything's possible. I do believe that there is a virus. I don't believe that it justified a single barbershop ever being closed or a single restriction ever being implemented. But I think it's naive to actually wishfully believe that there are not some very nefarious powers on this planet that wouldn't take advantage of it. Never let a good crisis go to waste, as the old saying goes. Yeah, it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Mark Twain, famous quote. Absolutely. Cosmic Comet Tarot, you are absolutely correct. Maritime Bob, they're going to send the military if the police can't break up the protest. The hell with the government. Canada, we used to have we had like the second or something. We had a massive, the second biggest, I don't remember. Just a massive military back in World War II. We don't now. We don't need one now. I think we have something that we only have like 60 or 70,000 soldiers. Like, what are they going to do? There's way more truckers. I'm not worried about our military, and a lot of them are on our side too. I'm not worried about that sort of thing. Right now, I think we're getting a lot of threats that can't be enforced. A lot of intimidation tactics, like you probably saw the video I put up today, of police officers knocking on doors of private citizens now just because they posted on Facebook groups supporting the convoy. Like that's a little bit too much. But if they do, they're trying to instill fear into people. That's what you see going on now. Pete Griswold, funny, I didn't care that much about politics before COVID. A lot of people have said that. A lot. And here's the thing, I have a lot of friends too. Before this started, they never cared at all about politics. And when it did start, they all thought I was crazy. And I had some actually unfriend me on Facebook. And they've pretty much all come crawling back now. They're like, geez, I'm sorry, Justin, you were right. I said, I know. Better late than never, but Darcy, the amount of virtue stroking that comes out of the libs' mouths every time they talk is ridiculous. Absolutely. Keep it coming. Someone needs to spread the word. I'm doing my best, guys. I'm doing my best. I'm just a guy with some social media outlets, and I happen to really enjoy video editing. So when people send me stuff, I like to put it together. I know a lot of you really, really love the montages. So if you want me to do more of those, just let me know. Where I take all the footage that I can find and then put it to some nice music or something. People really seem to like absorbing the information in that art form, basically. So I love doing that sort of thing. Everyone across Canada is supposed to beat their horns at 7 o'clock every night. So when this all started, I don't know if this was in other countries like the United States or not, but when this all started and most people actually believed the narrative, we had a thing, at least in BC, I think it was all across Canada, but where every night at 7 o'clock, people would make noise, bang pots and pans, open their doors and windows, bang pots and pans and everything. And it was all supposed to be as a tribute to the healthcare workers. That died off now, and nowadays, instead of applauding our healthcare workers, we just fire them if they don't take an unnecessary injection they decide they don't want to put in their body. So yeah, things have changed from heroes to zeros. But I like the idea of honking every night at 7. And actually, I wonder if that started already, because the last night at 7, my property, I could hear a bunch of horns going off around dinner time last night. I'm fairly rural where my property is, but sound travels and I can hear horns. I will do it. I actually have 3 vehicles. How can I honk all 3 at once? I'm up on a cliffside on a mountain. I should really just get like an air raid siren or some air horns or something up there. My neighbors love me. Love the montages. Awesome. Well, I'll keep doing those for sure. It's just a matter of getting the right music together, and then I like to put it together to the music and all that. And then making sure, like I said just a few minutes ago, I have to go through the footage and make sure there's no footage of anyone holding up any sign or anybody stating anything against the WHO narrative, and I have to edit that out. We're all supporting this movement. Keep on doing a great job reporting the rest of us. Keep the line and let's get our freedom. Absolutely. We shouldn't be, as far as I'm concerned, haven't lost our freedom. We're fighting now to make sure we don't lose our freedom. Those that think we've lost our freedom are the ones that complied. And they traded their freedom in for, or their rights. They traded their rights in for privileges. And the governments would love to have all our privileges on a digital ID card. There you go. You're allowed to go to the movies tonight. You're allowed to drive your autonomous car today because you complied. That is going to be our future if we don't stop this. This isn't just about some border mandate. Zora, you should have 1 million followers. Content is great. Oh, thank you. Well, I don't really care about the numbers. I'm not like that. Ego's not like that. I don't care if there's 100 or 1 million, as long as I'm reaching somebody and making any kind of difference, any at all. I'm happy. So it makes me feel good about this. Being a truck driver for many years, I'm supporting every single one of them the best way I can. Yes, Cosmic Comet, Terrell, once again, making people scared to share about the comet publicly, basically social credit score. It is. And that's what's been happening the last 2 years is already all the people that have been deplatformed, censored, accounts blocked off Facebook and Twitter and you name it, for speaking their mind, their opinions, or simply reposting other people's opinions or credible doctors around the world, scientists and all that. That is basically saying, sorry, you can't exist on social media, your opinion is invalid. It's basically a start to what's going on in China already. Are you ready to walk around with that social credit score, that digital ID? Might as well get that barcode just, tattooed on your neck. What's up, Skagit, Washington? You're pretty close. Yes, some guy. I've seen that too. I've seen that too. The Pat King letter. Sitting in my rig right now, heading back out your way, Justin. Awesome. Where are you right now in your rig? Like, are you a truck driver? Helen, well, you're a good woman because you're watching me. So thank you very much for that comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, things are getting tense in Windsor, I've heard, after that announcement today. So I've been listening to a little bit on the truckers radio and whatnot, and I guess some were getting afraid of the government intimidation, but that was why the government did what they did. But most of them are saying, now it's even more important for us to hold our ground. I saw some trucks in Ottawa as well were taking their wheels off, just in case tow trucks came around. You cannot comply your way out of tyranny. Absolutely correct. I think we've lost some freedom. Like my doctor can't prescribe what I want because the government says no. That is true. Yep. No. Absolutely. You're correct about that. And also those that don't have their basic right to put food on their families' tables because they refuse to take an injection, which doesn't protect anyone else, but never mind. That's what this is all about, though. COVID was an experiment. How many will comply? Yeah, and at one point, okay, so there's that old rule that tyrants and all throughout history have used. It's the 80-20 rule. If they can convince 80% of the population of something, they can. That's all they need to control everything. The 20% are relevant. And at one point we were at that. We're right at 80-20. I remember there were all sorts of polls done. Our side is now gaining back. So many people have awoken to what the hell's going on. And just look at the booster jab. Hey, you remember when the second jab was the booster? Pepper Ridge Farm remembers. The take-up rate for the third is really, really low. And I think that threw a wrench in their plans. They thought, well, everybody lined up for the first and second. We just scare them some more. They'll get the third and the fourth, like in Israel. And I don't know if you saw, but there were some European COVID passport apps that actually have 8 slots for
vaccine. 8 slots, not 1, not 2, 3, not 3 shots, 8. And somebody released the source code to the Alberta passport app a couple months ago, and it had 8 as well. So yeah, I think there was a long-term plan to get people 8 jabs. And I'm sure that plan is still there, but right now, we've definitely thrown a wrench into their plans. Yes, Barbara, I don't want to say that, because if I say that, that can affect my YouTube channel. But what you just picked, yeah, absolutely. See, I can't even say that sort of thing on YouTube. I can't. I'm not. I can't even post up a video with live stream's different, but I can't post up a video with the word censorship or it gets demonetized right away. I can't. There's a whole list of words you can't say. Some of them you would think are just normal words, normal conversation too. It's unbelievable. The amount of editing, there was a couple of videos that I put up, which were only about 3 minutes long, but when I first put them all together, they were awesome. They were almost 10 minutes long. That's how much I had to cut out just to be on YouTube's good side, basically. I'll put the full one up on Rumble, but it's crazy. Sir Pico, 1954, when will it get warmer? Do you mean here, Ottawa? Here, it's actually, look, I am here, and it's actually quite sunny. There were people out here in the park for the last couple hours, and I've been out in my t-shirt the last couple of days, actually. It's been nice here, but in Ottawa, it's eastern side of the country. Anything east of the Rockies is going to be colder. And but apparently it warmed up, and it was actually raining. It was above freezing, so. Oh, Scott Morrison, I know I'm on YouTube, but I shut down my Facebook and Instagram during the U.S. elections, and you know what? I'm way happier than I was. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that. I only have it up there because that is literally my contact list for my friends and whatnot. All I posted was a MAGA hat, and then I got attacked, and then it got shut down. Well, look at my hat. There you go. Buster, I've seen that too. I don't want to get into that. There's a lot of pulling back and forth, people saying it's legit, it's not. I don't want to get into that. I've seen it, though. I'll just tell you I've seen it. But yeah, Helen, a lot of people try to buy this hat off me. It's hilarious. You know, it's funny. I bought this at a gun range in Metro Vancouver, and then I went back to get another one, and they're all sold out. They said they can't keep them on the shelves, so I ended up finding another one on Amazon or something like that. So I have a couple of them now. Yes, he was actually a drama teacher, and he's still an actor, as we all know. Yeah, I don't think 90% are poked either. And if they are, maybe just the first one, and a lot of them regret it. And the convoy there was one statement put out about a month ago that said more than 50% of the people who registered to be in the truck convoy were actually jabbed. So, you know, this idea that it's only a bunch of unjabbed, anti-jab people is a load of crap. It's about the freedom of choice. You are welcome, Hope Bus. Is that like I can't see the little icon on my live chat there. Do you have a converted bus? I love those. Probably not 50-50. I don't know. What is Rumble like compared to YouTube? All the content creators like are, well, most of the most popular ones have moved to Rumble, and they either do duals, they put everything on both platforms, or they're only on Rumble now, because YouTube got rid of tens of thousands of huge accounts over the last 2 years because of the C word. So they all moved to Rumble. Rumble is free speech. You can say whatever you want, and it's a Canadian company, so of course I'm going to support Rumble a lot. But it's up and coming for sure. I think I got about 5,000 new subscribers there in the last week. If you just stick where most people are, that's how they've got control over the messaging and the narratives. It's like people that are only on Facebook, but they won't go to any of the other sites, the news sites, because they're not big enough. Well, how are they ever going to be big enough unless you go there? Everyone has to stop it and stay, oh, I'm just on YouTube or I'm just on Twitter. You should be on 10 or 15 different platforms. You need to expand. You need to. And the same goes if you're a video creator. You can't just put it all on one platform. I'm trying to catch your messages here. Sorry, I know it's a lot coming on all at once, but yeah. RP still. How come Omicron is not affecting the Freedom Convoy? COVID must not be as dangerous we were told. Well, it's January in Ottawa, and they've had kind of, wet weather, snowy weather and rain. And I'm sure there's sniffles all over the place, which is the same thing. Yep. Check out video on Rumble from Army Major Steven there. Yeah, I've actually got quite a bit of footage I haven't put up on my YouTube yet of several military members, both current and discharged or retired, who have spoken out in support of this convoy, of course. And 118 feet of big rig too. Oh, jeez, you got a big one there. You should go block a border. No, I'm serious. You should. The hippie sure as hell didn't save it. Save what? Yeah. No, exactly. Don't bring up jab issues at this time. I can't. Definitely not. Yes, Rumble has its own app, and it's awesome. It really exploded last year when the censorship really took over. That was during the U.S. elections there. Remember, Trump got booted off everything, and all these people started losing all their accounts on YouTube and Twitter and everything, and they all went to Rumble and BitChute and Odyssey, the other sites as well. Okay, well, I am going to run to the grocery store here and get what I need to do. I have to go get some cat food and all the rest of that, and then I'm going to drive back up to my property where I don't have unlimited internet. I'm very limited. So I'm going to start checking my emails tonight and see what else I might need to show you guys soon on my YouTube, and maybe do some editing tonight. And then if I don't have any data, I will drive down to the Wi-Fi tomorrow and upload a video for you. But in the meantime, please go to my website, justincredible.tv. If you want to send me a message on there, you can find a contact form on one of the pages there. And let me know what you want to see here, and I'll do my best. I mean, I'm here to entertain you at the same time. You notice I try to keep everything as positive as possible. I even when it's a serious subject, I try to throw in humor in my videos, especially at the ends. And I think that's what we all need to do, is keep a positive attitude, keep peaceful, keep positive, and strengthen numbers, guys. Keep rocking, keep on trucking in the free world. I love you all. Thank you so much for the ones of you that sent me a little bit of money on this chat here so I can go buy my coffees. I really appreciate that. I will let you know soon what's going on. And go follow the guys on Facebook. Go follow our Patriots, and they'll have ways for you to help them too, okay? All right. Take care, everyone. I love you all, and keep on trucking in the free world.